Hey folks, so here we are with David Glanzer with Comic-Con Museum. He just got finished doing his keynote speaking today. David, how are you?
I'm doing great. It was a very fun event.
We are so glad to have you here. We have a few questions. Can you tell me a little bit more about how Comic-Con started with a modest budget and now attracts major movie studios? And then can you just tell us about the story behind the evolution?
Yeah, Comic-Con really started with a small group of people. It was friends who loved entertainment, but thought that entertainment had intrinsic artistic merit. And they would invite guests to talk about their works, whether it was comic books, film, whatever. And that really resonated with people. And all of a sudden, 30 people turned to 300. It continued to grow. We advertised and promoted as best we could with almost no budget. And now, we welcome over 135,000 people every year.
That is a beautiful story. Can you tell me how you guys have cultivated the fiercely loyal fan base over the years? And how did the event leverage early fan engagement, brand loyalty to the community?
It's interesting. There is incredible brand loyalty. And I think we take our lead from our attendees. We're fans ourselves, so we try to produce the type of event that we want to attend. I think the attendees and the fans know that. They trust us, so much so that we sell our tickets typically 6-8 months in advance before there's any guests announced, any programming. But they trust us enough to know that we're going to produce a great event. And so that brand loyalty is there, and they know that we are passionate about this convention just like they are.
So with the evolution of entertainment, Comic-Con has expanded far beyond just comics. How has the event maintained its core identity while successfully appealing to the broader audience?
I think what's fascinating, and a lot of people don't know, is that Comic-Con was always about comic books, but also movies and fantasy and science fiction. Frank Capra, who's a very well-respected and noted film director, I think was a guest year two. So I think, people come to Comic-Con and realize they may be comics fans, but they could also enjoy movies. They could be movie fans and enjoy comics. We have just maintained a focus on art in its varied forms. And we have panels and programs where people can learn about those different art forms. And I think that keeps people coming back.
Have one more question. David, do you like to dress up for the Comic-Con event?
This is my dress-up costume. I'm usually a t-shirt and jeans guy. I will be honest with you, when I was younger, I would dress up in costume. Now I do so many interviews that, this is my costume now.
Do you have a favorite comic?
You know what? It's so funny. I have favorite comics, but I never answer that because I don't want to get a letter from somebody. I will tell you, I made the mistake on social media once about talking about a TV show I liked. Another network said, "Oh, that's great. What about our shows?" And I was like, "Oh." So I try to maintain being Switzerland.
Are you going to stay around and watch any of the panels today or speakers?
I would love to. You've got a great schedule going on, but we're starting our ticket sales tomorrow very early. So it's all hands on deck, and I got to run back to the office.
David, we really appreciate you here. You brought in a great crowd, and you had a great keynote speaking session.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was